I have a story to tell you because it came in yesterday. I was trying to think about, what is presence, what is power, and what is the next one?
Grace.
Pardon?
Grace.
Grace. Yeah, I was having all this and I thought, oh, I'll look it up. And then I went, no. How about a personal experience that happened to me and that I could use these words to actually describe it with? And so it happened 12 years ago, before I knew any of you or was here. And I was going through a pretty difficult transition in my life. And as transitions go, they can bring anxiety, they can bring a lot of stress, and that's where I was. I was living I took a side trip from what we're talking about, peace, love, joy. I was on a side trip. I don't know if anybody else has ever had a side trip, but I've had quite a few. And so the act, and I'm not ungrateful for it. I'm actually grateful for it because it reminds me of what's really going on below the surface of this waking awareness. So what happened is I was living out in Wishon, had just moved from LA. It was a whole new life. Our finances were all up in the air. Everything was sort of at a fever pitch of, I was on complete vigilante vigil of being stressed out and scared, and nervous. And I wasn't sleeping very well. Not a lot of sleep was happening. I would wake up out of a deep sleep, actually, just bolt upright, and there would be panic. There was a lot of panic. It was not pleasant, did not like it. And I remember I said, it would be good if I could go to sleep. It would be good if I could sleep. That's what I said. I would really like to sleep. And in that moment, there was this presence. And the presence it felt like an outside force. It felt like an outside force. But it really wasn't an outside force. It was something that was always with me and inside of me. And what happened is I felt like this blanket, this support happened that came over me and held me. I literally felt this as a warm blanket. And what other name? We can give it a lot of different names. I kind of thought it was a grandmother energy. It felt like a nurturing grandmother energy that came and just held me. And I felt immediately like, wow, I just asked and I got it. And I got this support. And I was able to then fall asleep. Miraculously, I just let go of all this being wound up, being tense, being not present. And I can be not present a lot of the time, and so I have to practice that. I have to practice being in the moment and looking at people and not wanting to skitter off somewhere because I'm always busy. I always have this habit, it's a habituated thing of being busy. But this really, really helped me, and it helped to remind me that I'm not alone. So you can call it grace if you want, because it felt like mercy, grace, whatever you want. You can use that word. You can use consciousness came to me and let me know it was there. And when you ask for something, it will say yes. And so that's what happened. And I felt so grateful for that. And grateful for these reminders that come in our life. And it felt like a peak experience, but you don't have to have a peak experience. It's always there. And when that came across the screen of my mind yesterday, I remembered that situation. And it was like, it brought me up. And I was, again, feeling like there is always presence. There is always power in presence. The power to transmute or transform the feeling energies that you are having and experiencing by just tweaking a little, looking at it, asking for what you want, and then being receptive to what is. Thank you.